Black business. I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black business. I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black business. I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black business. I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black business.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, and welcome. And of course, as we get prepared this evening, been sitting back talking to so many great people today. It's been a great day in the beautiful city of North Carolina. And for those of you who have had a chance to be on the Black Business Expo television network, want you to check it out. Go to Black Business Expo USA and see all of the great speakers who spoke during the Black Business Olympics. And for those of you who didn't get an opportunity and would like an opportunity, we're going to do it one more time in February, the last week in February. You will see the updates as we get prepared. I'm Eric Kelly III, your host for this affair, and I'm going to tell you it's going to be a great evening this evening. Tonight, we're going to be talking to two dynamic gentlemen. And of course, as we begin the Black Business Expo Olympics pre-show, and that's what it's all about. Again, tonight's guest is none other than the wonderful, the great guy from afar, my brother from another mother, by the name of Sean Ingram. And of course, let's bring Sean on and let's talk about it before we get going. Hello, Sean. How you doing?
I'm good. How y'all doing tonight?
Oh, we're doing just great, man. How was your day, first of all?
It was good. It was definitely good. Just truly a blessing to, like you said, still be in business, still be going strong, especially in today's time. So truly a blessing.
Well, of course, before you get started, would you just tell people a little bit about who you are and, of course, the name of your company?
I am Sean Ingram. I'm an author, motivational speaker, and the founder of the Sean Ingram Academy. The Sean Ingram Academy is a juvenile diversion and intervention program. We also have a nail technology program for women and young ladies. So basically, our mission is to engage, enlighten, and elevate our youth from their present struggles to their future success.
Well, that's got to be a great mission to have. I'm not going to hold you long. I know you got your presentation ready for us. And for those of you who do not know, go to the website. And of course, for those that are right here in the city of Durham, Raleigh, Apex, Cary, go over to Crabtree Valley Mall and support the brother. One of the reasons that we do the Black Business Expo Olympics is so that we can expose people, highlight them, and share with other people the information about them and their business. And of course, if you go there and you tell him that you saw it here, you might get a little percentage off. Not much, but a little percentage off. And again, Sean, thank you for being on the show. And as I say to all my guests, I'll see you on the other side.
Definitely, definitely. So, like Eric said, I am Sean Ingram. You know, basically what I want to talk to y'all about tonight, I was just having some conversations the other day talking about the essence of business in a sense. And I think a lot of people get into business thinking making money, right? Thinking, I guess my young people said it's chasing the bag, as they would say. But a lot of people forget the key element of business, which is building relationships. I've learned over some 20 some years of being in business and that building and retaining relationships is the number one goal, the ultimate goal. Because once you build on relationships and you can actually create your financial security based off the relationships you have. It's a saying that say your network equals your net worth. So I try to think about that every day, is to say, okay, how can I go out here and how can I widen my web in a sense to have more people support what it is that I do. I remember probably over 15, 20 years ago, a publicist told me that never sell a product, Sean, always sell yourself. Never sell a product, always sell yourself, because then no matter what you sell, people will support you. And it's not the book that they're supporting. It's not, in a sense, the T-shirt that they're supporting. They're supporting the ideas and the vision and of Sean Ingram. But that has to come from building a relationship. And so people in business, people have to be able to trust you, not just trust you as a person, but trust your brand, trust your values, trust your vision, and then trust in you that you're going to fulfill to the best of your ability what it is that you say you're going to do. So I think a lot of fans that support me, they support the idea of the fight, right? They support the idea that, hey man, I seen Sean go from 0 to 25 and then continue to go from 25 to 50. and then from 50 to 75, right? And so it's that idea to say, I'm gonna support him in his journey and his fight, because I've seen, and he's explained to me what his vision is, and I've seen him fight so hard to get to the finish line. But that's from building a relationship. As I'm at Crabtree Valley Mall, one of the greatest things I like about being at Crabtree Valley Mall is, as an author and a motivational speaker and as a performer, I'm always kind of either on the stage or behind the scenes or behind the stage in a green room. What I love about being at Crabtree Valley Mall, I'm right there on the floor, right? I'm right there with my people. I'm right there with my patrons. I'm right there with my supporters, and they get to talk to me and they get to shake my hand. And a conversation could last an hour. I've been in the mall and I've sat there and talked to some people for a whole hour sitting in the mall. But at the end of the day, I know that's a conversation now that has built a relationship. So every time this person comes to the mall, I can almost expect that they're going to come by and see me. And I can almost kind of expect their support at the end of the day, But then what I can also expect is for them to go to tell other people, to say, hey, man, I don't know if you ever met this guy named Sean Ingram, but he's doing some wonderful things for our youth in the community. But that's building that relationship, that you can have that word of mouth, that you can have people to want to conversate about you, to want to tell other people about you, to be excited to tell other people about you. But that comes from that initial meeting, right? I think sometimes we get it confused. Like even when we go to networking events, one of the things I learned about networking events was you really have to network. You just don't go to meet people, but you have to talk to people to find out what type of synergy do I have with this person? Is there any connection? But not just their business, but with them, right? With them. One of the greatest honors that I have is that I get to do a lot of personal things with a lot of great people, right? And what I mean by that is just not going to a business meeting. It's just not going to a conference. It's just not going, like, I want to go to your son's birthday party, at Chuck E. Cheese or whatever, like I want to go to places like that, because now we can really build a true relationship. We could really sit down and talk or get to know each other. And I can look at you and because I'm a vibe person. So I got to be able to understand and feel your vibe as a person first, right? I remember this lady told me, she was like, Sean, you got people, they're all different type of people. You got business people, then you got business personal people, then you got personal business people, right? It's like whatever their first initial attraction to you is, that's what they go off of. So you got some people that they're just business. Either they're going to be business with you and they're going to do business with you. And you got some people that's, business first, and then they want to build a personal relationship with you. You got some people that's opposite. You got some people that want to build a personal relationship with you first, really get to know you, and then they could consider doing some business with you. So I try to make sure that I'm always thoughtful of that, mindful of that, and taking that in consideration when I'm actually talking to somebody, because then I'm trying to figure it out. Okay, is this the type of person that they just want to hear what my numbers are and what my vision is, and in a sense, giving them my verbal business plan? Or is this a person that say, hey, I want to get to know you as a person first, and then know that if I build this solid relationship with this person, down the line, the business is going to come, the support is going to come, the money is going to come, right? So just making sure that we understand that. So I'm always talking to people about just really, really building relationships. Okay, on the second part of that, not only do you have to build these relationships, but you also have to retain these relationships. This is one of the things I'm working on myself, and it's very, very hard, especially in these days and times with COVID and online and social media and Zoom and all these different platforms, right? To say, okay, how do you really touch a person without even being able to be in the same vicinity with the same person? Like I got a donation the other day, and they mailed a check. So what I have to do now is I have to go and get a thank you card, right? Because this person started this relationship. Now I have to retain this relationship. So it's just like anybody. If somebody say, excuse me, and you don't say nothing at all, right? So that's not reciprocal. So you want to make sure that this relationship is reciprocal. So with this person giving me this donation, now I at least want to say thank you so they can feel appreciated. And so I want to be able to retain relationships. How do you retain relationships? I mean, people do it various different ways. Whether it's your app, if you have an app for your business. I have an app for my business. It's Sean Ingram. So if you Google or you download Sean Ingram from the App Store or the Google Play. One of the things that I want to utilize more in my app store is just to say thank you or give discounts or do loyalty programs. So that's one of the things about retaining relationships also. Another thing is email lists. You can be on your email list. You can, just reach out to you people, say, hey, I just want to say thank y'all for your support, helping me get to where I am. So it's little things that we can do, but I think it's more of a discipline thing than anything. Even myself, I try to be mindful just to say thank you, and because we get caught up in the hustle and the bustle, and we get caught up in the running, but sometimes we just got to say, hey, thank you for your support, thank you for this, or thank you for that. So we just retaining relationships is very, very important. I mean, like I said, a little bit ago, they say your network will equal your net worth. And who you're associated with, who you're talking to, not only those relationships because of business, but personal relationships. What type of people are you intertwining with, even on a business aspect? What type of conversations are you having? Are you having conversations with friends that's going to say, hey, I think this will be a great book for you to study because I really think it's going to, help your business? Or are you having conversations with people that's not going to share information with you, that's not going to tell other people about you, that's not going to even inspire you to keep going? We know business is very, very hard. It's a grueling and draining process. Are you around people that's actually going to feed into you, pour into you the energy, the motivation, that you're going to need to continue to fight this fight day by day by day by day? Right. So building and retaining relationships in my book is a very key point to business. Understanding that, how to delegate different things, how to have different ideas, how to have different opinions coming in, how to, understand that there's a lot of different viewpoints. But these come from, real life conversations, for the good or bad, right? So for the good or bad, I even have conversations with myself, a lot of times. So I'll talk to myself all day long about an idea, or, about a design that I did, or about, a speech that I have coming up. And I will try to play devil's advocate a lot, and thinking about, okay, if what would this person think? If this person is this type of way, how will they perceive it? How can I deliver it in an aspect that, it will be understood and still be respected at the end of the day. So, just making sure that, your conversation is that of one that's going to penetrate, and hopefully people understand. But like I said, it comes from come from having different conversations, having understanding of different people. I think sometimes even in business we get narrow-minded to the fact to say, hey, I only want to deal with this group of people, or I only want to deal with this group of people, or, I don't plan on that group of people supporting me. In my business, I can't talk about all businesses. In my business, I need everybody's support. I don't care if you black, white, young, old, Asian, Mexican, so I have to be able to conversate with a group of people at any given time. And it's not only just, talking about Sean Ingram. I want to be able to talk about some of their culture, or understand some of their culture, or, if they mention a song or whatever, then I want to be able to say, yeah, I actually heard of that. Because when people feel like you take it into to consideration their feelings and their culture, it makes it, I think it opens them up a little bit more, makes them feel more comfortable with you, to want to share more with you also. So, just kind of being flexible. I think that's the best word I could use right now, is just being flexible, to be open enough to say, hey, you know what? I might not understand, but I'm willing to listen to you. Me and my wife was talking about earlier, like even like a country music, right? You know, I'm a writer, so I like lyrics. First and foremost, I don't care if it's in a country form or hip hop form, or so I'm about the lyrics of something. And country music always just been great storytellers to me. My wife was saying, how the voices and how they sing, and which is very true. They got a very, a lot of it is very soulful. So, but I'm the type of person that I just love lyrics. I love words. I love stories. So, but I'm, regardless of where I grew up and how I grew up, or, you know, that will never change, right? Just the fact that, hey, I love a great story. So to sit down and talk to, a friend about country music, so it brings more of a relationship, because I think sometimes in the business world, people only want to talk about business. You meet people, and sometimes that turn people off, especially I guess when you elevate it to a certain level of philanthropy, or CEO status, or whatever it may be, because now you feel like everybody that you meet have some type of hidden or personal agenda for wanting to get to know you. And I'm definitely nowhere near that level, in a sense, but I do feel every day that you have to be mindful of people's conversation coming towards you, because you feeling like, okay, is this person really want to support me, or they just want to get close to me or attached to me because of whatever they feel like it could benefit them going forward. So having a understanding of how to better build a relationship, how to go into it to say, you know what, I'm going to get to know this person first, and then I will see if there's an opening for some type of synergy, some type of conversation, or you might just play the long game, in a sense. If you playing the long game to say, you know what, I think just being in the presence of a certain person is going to open up doors for me. Now, this person don't have to particularly, invest in me or sponsor me or even mentor me, but just being in the presence of their light is going to shine light on me and my business. So I think it's a lot of strategy, just even going of how you meet people. One thing I like about networking events is, you meet a lot of people, and a lot of people come at you with different approaches in different various ways. So I like to study that aspect and learn from other people, to say, how do you approach a person? Me personally, growing up, the way I grew up, you really didn't approach people. You don't really get taught how to go talk to somebody. I've never been taught how to, accost somebody. So that was different for me. I mean, even right now, it's hard for me to actually just go up and start talking to a person. That's not natural. That's not comfortable for me at all. But in business, it's a must. And that's why like I said, that's why I like being at Crabtree Valley Mall also, because it's pushing me out of my personal comfort zone to actually just go to talk to people. Just to say, hey, how you doing today? Just to say hello, would you care to support the Sean Ingram Academy? Because it's not comfortable. And then understanding that that key aspect of accepting rejection. It's almost like, for me, I guess it's like a training field. It's like basic training for rejection, because it's a percentage game. It's a numbers game. The more people you ask for support, the more people that's going to support you. 1 + 1 = 2 all day. But before you get to 100, you might have 98 to say no before you get the 2 people that actually say yes. And you might got to go through another 90 that say no before you get another 1 that says yes. But the more people you ask, the more people you will get to say yes. And that's just the fact of the matter. But are you going to grow to have that tough skin to say, you know what, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep asking. I'm going to keep persevering this process, regardless of the fact, because now I have a vision, I have a mission, I have an end goal. I see my finish line, and I am going to endure this race, regardless of how tired I get, regardless of how depressed I get, regardless of how frustrated I get. I'm going to endure this race until I actually cross that finish line. For some people, that finish line might be very short, right? It might be very close. I meant that finish line might be very close. You know, some people make goals, and it's depending on what your goals is. You know, whether it's a financial goal, like I told a friend one time, you know, I'm not building a business. You know, ironically, and as it may seem, I'm not building a business. I'm building a legacy. I'm building a dynasty. So my thought process is different. You know, what I'm building is, you know, not even for me in a sense, in my mindset. It's not even for me, it's for my kids' kids and their kids' kids. And so that's what I'm trying to build. So there's a little bit different mindset. Well, not a little bit, it's a great difference in the mindset and actually the work that I have to put in. If I was doing it just to make money, I could have stopped that just writing a book a long time ago, putting it in the truck and just keep hitting spoken word stages, because I was making money doing that 20 some years ago. But then every level has another level on top of it. So I'm the type of person to know if there's 21 floors to this building, and I know on that 21st floor that's the promised land, that's where all the food is laid on the table, that's where, you know, bliss truly is. And I never seen it. I never been in there. I've heard people talk about it. I've seen people that's been in there, and the way they live and the way they look, and you know, I got to go to the 21st floor. That's me. Some people say, hey, you know what, man, I was on ground zero, and this 3rd floor right here is all right with me. I'm cool at being on the 3rd floor. You know, that's some people's mindset. Unfortunately, that's not mine. I won't say unfortunately, but that's just not my mindset. My mindset is, if I know that there's a 21st floor and I know that's where I want to be, then that's where I'm going to work to be. The thing about the process of success is that you got to trade out being at the top of the 1st floor to go right back to the bottom of the 2nd floor. Okay, so I'm gonna say that one more time. That's the trade out. The trade out is, you know, you made it to the top of the 1st floor. You made it to the top. You live in it. But then when you go to that next level, you got to go right back to rock bottom again. But what you've learned is, you know, maybe not from 1st to 2nd or 3rd to 4th, maybe from, you know, 5th to 6th, you've learned that there is a process from going from the bottom to the top again. And that should make you a little bit more comfortable to say, you know what, now I'm on the 6th floor, but I know there's a 7th floor. You know what, I already been to the bottom before, so I already know how to make it from the bottom to the top. It is what it is. It's going to be harder. It's going to be different. It's going to be more frustrating. But if you know that you can go from the bottom to the top, from the bottom to the top, you know, switching it out, I can fall down. I can get back up again. I can fall down. I can get knocked down, but I can get up again. I can keep moving forward. I'm going to get pushed back. I'm going to get pushed over. I'm going to get pushed to the side. That should give you confidence that I can keep going, that I can succeed. I can I can endure this journey, because that's what business, that's what entrepreneurship is, that's what being a leader is, that's what being a visionary is against all odds, against everybody that would never see or understand or believe in you or support you, that you're dedicated and you're willing to sacrifice to get to that ultimate goal, whatever that vision is. I remember, it's been I guess a couple of years ago, I heard Les Brown talk about dreams. And of course, everybody that knows me, I'm a dreamer. I've always been a dreamer. I remember when I was in high school, teacher asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up. I told her I wanted to be a writer. The reason I wanted to be a writer was because I felt that at that time, young Black kids, we didn't like to read because we couldn't relate to the material that was in the book. So I wanted to be a writer because I felt like if I could write our stories, I love Edgar Allan Poe, but I'd never seen Sean Ingram in the vision of Sean Ingram or the image of Sean Ingram in an Edgar Allan Poe book. So I feel like if I write stories that, my homeboy could see himself in, or we could relate to, then we'll like to read a little bit more. So, that great old story, or that great question that a lot of teachers or counselors ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I say, hey, I want to be a writer. I want to inspire my people. I want to write stories about us. She told me to reach for something more attainable. So that crushed me. I'll be honest with you, it crushed me, but it also lit a fire in me from that day till now that I could never really explain. I mean, it lit a fire in me to the point that I was willing to die to make my dream come true. I was willing to sacrifice it all to say, you know what, I will succeed. And going back to what I was saying about Les Brown said one day, you're going to be on your deathbed and your dreams are going to ask you, why didn't you let me live? Right? Why didn't you believe in me enough to manifest me? In a sense, why did you kill me? Right? And what are you going to say to your dreams? So I've always had it in my mind to say, I want my dreams to say thank you. Thank you for bringing me to the forefront. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for never giving up on me. Right? I want me and my dreams to go out together, to be like, hey, you know what? What we did was build a better community, build a better future for our families, build a better, inspire people, inspired our youth, especially young Black boys and young Black girls, say, hey, man, you know what? You can succeed, against all odds. It's possible. One of my biggest other goals is that, a lot of people know I'm a ex-con. So coming from coming out of prison, I want people to stop looking at us as a problem. I think sometimes when they look at felons, most people look at us as a problem. When they look at kids coming from different type of projects or neighborhoods, they look at them as a problem. What I want to do is, hopefully my life will start shedding a light on troubled youth, as they would call them, troubled youth, but start looking at them as a potential. I want people to say, hey, you know what? Yeah, that kid got some problems. He got maybe some mental health problems. He got some behavioral issues. But I also know he got a possibility that he could become something great. I remember Sean had a lot of issues. I remember when he was in prison, but he turned his life around and he became something great. So my ultimate goal is I hope that people stop looking at young kids and people in general as a problem, but start looking at them and seeing them as a potential to say, you know what? Yeah, he's a boy rough around the edges. That boy, man, but I know with the right love and the right, tutoring and the right mentoring, he could be something great. Man, that boy, he's a little uneducated, but I know if I take a little time with him and I tutor him, he's going to be all right. So that's what the ultimate goal is at the end of the day. But like I said, that even comes going all the way back, full circle. That comes from building and retaining relationships. When you have good relationships with people, people will invite you into circles. They will invite you to be a part of. You will be the first thing on their mind if something comes across their table that could benefit you, right? Having relationships helps me get events, helps me, do a lot of different things. Helps me be a part of the city club, helps me be a part of the chamber. These are coming from relationships, right? Not just me knowing, these are relationships, because people will start inviting you in. But these are, like I said, it's coming from having conversations when people get to know you as a person and then say, man, you know what, that dude Sean, he all right, man. That newspaper report that I read about him, that ain't all true, right? He's an all right guy to me. So make sure that when you go out, and this is just me personally, right? I'm just talking personal right now. I don't go into the day thinking I'm gonna make a lot of money. I just don't. I don't wake up in the morning and say, oh man, I'm gonna make $1 million today. No, what I try to do is add one more person onto my list that and to build a new relationship. Because I might know that one person, but that one person still know 50 to 100 people that I never met in my life. And that's what I believe about even collective economics. So if you can get this one person now to tell 25 of his friends to say, hey man, go over there and support Sean, right? That's when you start growing. Then this other person from this totally different state or county or whatever, right? That's when you actually start growing. But focus on building and retaining relationships in business. I'm telling you, my people, it's so imperative that we understand how to communicate. We understand how to articulate our thoughts and ideas, our visions. We understand how to ask for help. All right. That's another key point to building relationships. Sometimes when you don't have the proper relationship, it's hard, especially for Black people. I'm just going to say it, especially for the Black folks. It's hard for us to understand how to ask for help. It's hard for us to understand and feel comfortable to say, hey, man, you know what? Nah, I ain't doing all right today. This is what I got going on, right? And what's that old saying? A closed mouth don't get fed, right? So sometimes we'll sit there and we'll hold it in because we feel like we got to be so put together and so perfect and so all right. But the truth of the matter is a lot of people struggling. There's a lot of business people, especially now with COVID going on. There's a lot of business people that's struggling, that's in the same boat. Everybody ain't doing okay, right? But to be able to articulate that, to say, hey, you know what? I just need support. I've learned that I got to ask for support every day. And a lot of people say no, but there's some people that say yes, and that's what keeps me going. So like I said, just make sure that when you're going out during the day, that your ultimate goal isn't just only to make money, but it's also to build and retain relationships. Because like I said once before, your network will equal your net worth. I'll say it again. Your network, how many people you know, how many relationships you have, how many friends you have, how many business associates you have, will equal your network. Will equal your net worth. I'm sorry. So at this time, before I leave, if there's any questions that anybody would like to ask, I just want to open the floor up to any questions that somebody might have that I can answer. Feel free to ask. Thank you, Miss Sandra. Thank you. Yeah, it is. It is very. It's hard to ask for help, and I'll just say this. Let me say this also. So, I'm from the streets, right? A lot of people know my background. I served 5 years in a federal prison. I grew up in poverty. So one of the crazy dynamics that I learned was the streets teach you not to talk to people, right? Not to get to know people. Like, I don't know you like that. I don't talk to you like that. So I had to retrain my mindset to say, no, I need to know people. I need to talk to people, right? I got to be able to build a relationship with a person, so I can continue to grow. Because the irony is, other people have the knowledge that I need. So if I don't understand how to go up and ask somebody to say, hey, I need help. I mean, either they have the knowledge, or do they have the finances that I need? How do I handle what type of situation, Miss Sandra? Let me ask you that. What type of situation? Or is it a situation of rejection, or just asking for help? Now, I will say this while I'm waiting on your response, to let me know exactly what type of situation. I want to make sure I answer your question as clearly as possible. Um, the way I ask for help now is I just ask for help. You know, the way I ask for help now is that it's just, as the Bible say, write it down and make it plain, right? I would make mine just as plain as possible. How I deal with rejection, you know, irony for me, I've been rejected my whole life, right? You know, unfortunately, I grew up, my mom wasn't there, my dad wasn't there. Um, and it really did, it hurt me. And I think a lot of things that I was chasing in life was acceptance. Okay. I was chasing acceptance. I was chasing acceptance more. I was chasing money. I was chasing acceptance to be wanted, more than I was chasing anything else. And then it dawned on me one day: are they rejecting me, or are they losing out? Right? Even when I'm at the mall, you know, people would say no, 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 no. And I had to switch my mindset to say, you know, if I focus on the people that reject me and not put more time and energy into the people that's actually supporting me and accepting me, then I'm being disrespectful to the people that are actually supporting and you know, really supporting my mission. So now rejection, I don't even look at it as rejection. I look at it as, you know, I hate to say it this way. I don't know no other way to say it. I look at them as just being ignorant, right? Not really so much rejecting me. It's just, hey, they just don't know. They missing out on a good thing. You know what I mean? So they'll figure it out one day, and then they'll be coming, probably might be a year, might be 5 years, might be 2 months from now, and say, man, I remember I met that guy in the mall, man. Man, I wish I would have got to know that guy. And that's on them. And so I don't have the time, the energy, um, the mindset no more to worry about what people don't do or what they don't say. I got a mission, and that's what I'm on. So I just put all my time and energy into moving forward. And those who say no, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, you can't, you know, like, you can't make people want to support you. That's right. And you're exactly right, right? Um, you know, when you know it's God given, when you know that God has put you on a path, right? What do he say? If God is for you, then who can be against you? You know, so I say the same thing. If God is for me, why worry about anybody else? You know, that's my saying. That's my way of saying it. You know what I mean? Like, if I know God got me, why worry about somebody else? They ain't there yet. They don't see it. Even with visions, I had to learn that too. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people don't understand. Like, I started very, very young in this business world, you know, coming, transitioning from a hustler from the streets, going into a business world. I wanted to write a book, like I said, you know, so a lot of people won't giving me the information. Um, I started my own publishing company when I was 18 years old. I published my first book for myself at 18 years old. No distribution deal, no publishing deal, nothing. right? Nothing. So I had to do it on my own. But what it taught me was, like you said, it started that process. To God be the glory. 20 some years later, I'm still going. I mean, you could Google Sean Ingram books. I got books in currencies that I ain't never had, rupees, Indian currency. I mean, it's available everywhere. So I had to, and you do, right? You especially, growing up in a black church, growing up in a black community, you thinking like I'm gonna blow up because I know my church people gonna come support me. I know my family gonna come support me, but I promise you, I can count on one hand how many family members probably got a Sean Ingram book on their bookshelf in their house at all, right? And then you got people that I never met in my life. I mean, literally, I never met in my life got a book, and they talk about it, and they want to do book clubs with me. But then the same people that I grew up with, or I, look at every day, they don't support. So, and that is a form of rejection also. So rejection is a very real thing, but I think we have to change our mindset and look at rejection for what it really is. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people say they're gonna help you. But what I learned with that, Miss Sandra, like, they don't understand, right? I had to learn that they really don't understand. Like, I'm from Wilson. I'm outside of Wilson, Stantonsburg, North Carolina, right? I come up from Highway 58 down a dirt path behind a cornfield, severe poverty till I was 10 years old. I'm 44 right now. We had an outhouse until I was 10 years old, didn't have running water. So when I was talking about being an author, motivational speaker, they did not understand. When I'm talking about going and traveling and speaking, they can't see it, right? All they can see is cornfields and tobacco fields and putting in tobacco before the school go back in. Sure, I can help you get your book together, Miss Sandra. Definitely. I mean, that's where the blessing for me is now. And, I truly believe that God helped me because I help others. And the information, we got to share information. That's the power. Power is information. Knowledge truly is power, right? So definitely, um, definitely. So definitely feel free to contact me. Um, no, yeah, it's better for you to do it yourself then. I mean, it really is. If you feel like your publishers are stealing your royalties, I've been self-published. Like I said, I've been self-published over 20 years now. Yeah, 20 plus years. I have 7 books in, I think. And by the time publishers came and wanted to give me 2 or 3%, 4%, it didn't make sense to me to do it that way no more. And a lot has changed since then too. They're not giving away signing bonuses and things like they used to, right? And then the ebook world came out, and it changed a lot, right? And I've had great mentors in the publishing world, different authors. Omar Tyree is a very, very good friend of mine and a mentor of mine. I've been knowing him up 20 some years also. So to understand the dynamics of, it's almost better to own ourselves. But I'm glad you said that. So even what I learned with that, and one of the biggest things I learned with Omar, right? Omar Tyree, he was the one that wrote like Fly Girl and Sweet St. Louis and all these other great books. So Omar in his prime was making 6 figures a book, right? And of course he's in, signed to Simon and Schuster. He's in Barnes and Noble. He's everywhere. Like you said, it's everywhere. He's doing interviews. He's doing this. He's doing that. He's doing, a lot of different things. And he started young also. But what he didn't understand was that publishing, right? The publishers owned everything, technically, so they own everything. The publicists own the relationships. So if you have a publicist who owns, in a sense, all your relationships, The reason you go on the Oprah show is because she made a phone call to her friend who got you on the Oprah show, not because you called and got on the Oprah show, right? And that's why I tell people this business is relationships, right? They can make moves and she's going to get paid for putting you on, right? But then the percentages, the way the percentages break down, you pretty much get nothing at the end because now they're going to charge you for their relationships. That make any sense? That's what they're charging you for. Okay. Miss Sandra, you say you got books all over the world and you get nothing from it. Okay. My books are available all over the world. Okay. If you Google Sean Ingram books, you'll see Sean Ingram books jump up everywhere. But Sean Ingram owns the books. Sean Ingram owns the publishing company. I have a distribution deal. It's a very big difference. My distribution deal says I design it, I print it. I design it, I typeset it, I put it all together. I just need you to print it as a distribution company and ship it. Okay, there's a big difference. So where other people might be getting, 7%, 8%, think 10% is even high sometimes from a publisher. No, I get the 90% and I give you the 10% just to ship it, right? Because it's my relationships. It's me putting in the work. It's Sean Ingram the one that stood out there on the street corner passing out flyers. Sean Ingram the one that stood on stages all night performing. Sean Ingram the one that said, hey, if I can meet you and shake your hand personally, why do I need 5, 6 people in between that for you to give me $10 and me take the $10 home? Instead of saying, hey, you give me $10, then I'm gonna take this $10 and cut it up 5 different times and only take 2 out of it. That don't make sense to me, right? But of course, we thinking that that's the way we supposed to do it because that's the way they say it, right? But the truth of the matter is, it's not. It's all about numbers. It's all about relationships. I heard Master P say it one time, and it made all the sense in the world. Master P said, well, I don't have to sell 1 million albums. He has to sell 1 million albums because he got 1 million people taking $1 out of the million, right? Which only leaves him with, still less than 1 million, right? But I could sell 100,000 albums and still be a millionaire. I said, wow, that's crazy. That makes all the sense in the world. So even when you're looking at a lot of these artists, I know Prince talked about it a lot. Michael Jackson started talking about it a lot. When you start really looking at the numbers, because if you're making 10% and you have to sell 100,000, right? And it's just simple mathematics, right? If you make 10% and you sell 1,000, and if I get 90% and I sell 1,000, I just made a lot more money, right? So I could sell, in a sense, 100 to your 1,000, and we make the same amount of money. So it's just understanding, and like I said, that's based off relationships. I look at everything as relationships. Where can I go to the biggest group of people that I could find support from? I'm gonna go to a church. I'm gonna go to, some type of banquet. I'm gonna go, like who? But it's always one person that you need to talk to get to the 500 people. That's the way. That's just the simple mathematics of the game, But we thinking, they're gonna blow us up. They're gonna put us on TV. No. You need to know one person, and sometimes that person could be in a position that you never expected, right? I used to tell people all the time, hey, if you want to get to Oprah Winfrey, if you want to get to Oprah, how do you get to her? Right? And it's, you got to call a manager. You got to call a publicist. You know how many phone calls them people get on a daily basis trying to get to Oprah? But what about the doorman that opened the door for her every morning? So if I would go there, that's who I would talk to all the time, the doorman. Hey man, how you doing? Hey man, how you doing? And I would go and I would go and I would go and I would give him the book. I would give him a book, not the pub. I wouldn't be trying to reach the publicist. So my thought process has always been different, because now once I build a relationship with him, Oprah see this man every day, right? Oprah see this person every day. If she don't have no other relationship, she got a relationship with the person that opened the door for her every day, a personal relationship. So now if he says to her, "Hey Oprah, man, I met this great young guy, man. I think you should check this book out," right? You don't think she's gonna take that book and he just give it to her on her way out? I think that's the way things happen. And not only that, we have to start learning how to decrease our overhead. For me, being at Crabtree Valley Mall takes away from having to pay a publicist. It takes away from having to pay radio advertisements. It takes away from having to pay, TV marketing. It takes away to having to pay a lot of different things, because I'm going to get views regardless, um, just from people walking into the mall. And when I look at what I pay for a kiosk or, a space in the mall, as opposed to what radio would cost, or what, and understanding that really the numbers and the dynamics is much greater in the mall, because a lot of people don't even listen to the same station. A lot of people don't even, especially in today's time, who really watches real TV anymore, or antenna TV, right? Local TV, in a sense. Everything is Netflix now, or everything is Sirius satellite radio. So, you just have to put yourself in a position that you're understanding what you're doing and why you're doing it, recognizing your reason, but making sure that whatever your end game is, that is for the long haul. I'm like you said, my books are available in Barnes and Noble, but if you ever see a Sean Ingram Barnes and Noble flyer again, I seriously doubt it. I tell people to come to me, especially with Cash App and PayPal. No, you buy it from me and I'll sign it and I'll ship it to you myself, because we understand that Barnes and Noble gets 40%. Okay, so now you take that 40%, then a distribution company is going to get their 15 to 20%. That's 60% gone right there, right? Then your publisher is going to take their percentage. So that's how the numbers start dwindling and dwindling and dwindling down. What Sean Ingram does is I just cut out all the people in between. I try to have a direct relationship with me and my supporter. And that's what my ultimate goal was 20 some years ago. To God be the glory, I survived. Definitely. If you're in the Raleigh area, make sure you come by Crabtree Valley Mall. If not, make sure you email me and we can get you one out. Yes, man. Like I said, you can just cash at me. See? So I just really try to build personal relationships with my supporters. And I personally want to tell them thank you, just thank you for their support, because I think that's what build, like you said, that retention makes you retain that relationship. And now they want to come back. And like I said at the beginning, one of the greatest pieces of advice I've had is when a publicist told me that never sell a product. She said, "Sean, never sell a product, never sell a book, never sell a t-shirt, never sell a CD, always sell yourself." So then when people buy into you, no matter what you sell, they say, "Hey, I want to support him." So if it's if you put your name on a Frisbee, they say, "Hey, I want to support Miss Sandra. I want to support this person. I want to support that person. Let me get a Frisbee. I don't even play Frisbee every day, but I'm going to put the Frisbee up in my house, just hanging on the wall, just because I support you." So that's the mindset that I try to have. Now with doing that, one of the things I focus on is quality and not quantity, right? I want to make sure that whatever I do is quality, whether I'm speaking or whether I'm performing or whether I'm, writing a book, right? I want to make sure that I'm putting out quality work. Um, you know, you say your book is on abuse. Call agencies. That's another thing too. And remember what I said about them relationships, right? See, and that's what people get paid to do. People get paid to call these agencies and build a relationship on your behalf. What I do is I just carve out a little time. I mean, think about 30 minutes. If you take a phone book, you say, you know what, how many abuse agency, and now you got Google. Google all the drug abuse, domestic violence abuse agencies in Wake County, right? Then you call them. Hey, how you doing? My name is, I'm the author of, I think I have a book that would really help. Who I need to meet? Who do I need to talk to? I would love just to come and speak to somebody, right? And that's honestly how simple it is. That's why I go back to communication skills. It really, really is. I think we think the process is so hard, you know, because it sounds so far-fetched that it's that easy, right? It sounds crazy to say, no, it can't be that easy. No, it really, really is. Pick up the phone and call them or go. I'm a goer personally. When I say I'm a goer, I don't do too much phone calling, right? I'm a person that I believe I'm gonna show up at the front door because it's hard to tell somebody no in their face, right? So that's the way I always been. But I'm gonna go and say, hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. You leave them your literature. To say, hey, I just want to talk to. I just want to inspire people. Um, and of course, same thing about anything, getting a return on an investment. Sometimes you got to invest in yourself. So you might got to do it free a couple of times, but then always have your end game. Are you doing it free, but then expect to sell books, right? Are you doing it free, then expect, like you said, to put it on your resume and sell books? One of the things about me is if I'm going to do it free, I'm still going to video it. So then I could put out the video and then now I can draw other people in. They say, hey, you know what? I might need her to speak at my event. I needed her to come and talk to my youth or my group of people. So you have to learn how to monetize free. All right, I'm gonna say it one more time. You have to learn how to monetize free. Excuse me, to the best of your ability. And so just knowing that going into it. Any other questions before I know it's my time to leave? So any last questions before I jump off of here for tonight? Definitely, they definitely need to be changed. And I know um, coming from, poverty and coming from adverse situations, sometimes just a word of inspiration will take you a long, long ways. Sometimes people are on the verge of giving up. Um, and just that word will inspire a person to continue to not give up. So Miss Sandra, definitely continue to want to inspire and talk to him because I know it's needed and people don't think about it. But sometimes just a simple word will keep a person alive, literally keep a person alive and push a person to go successful. So I thank you. Also, I thank you all for your time, for listening in, for your questions, and y'all have a great night and God bless.
Hello, everybody. How's it going? And of course, as we get ready to finalize what's going on, hey man, how did you enjoy this evening?
It's good, good, good.
Well, that Sandra Lucky is one of our stars. She is always on the case. Sandra, we want to thank you for being a part of the Black Business Expo, all of the 7 days that we did, and we want to make sure that you stay engaged with Sean. So, Sean, what is your email so that people can email you?
It's the word email, email at SeanIngram.info.
And talk
Email at SeanIngram.info.
You talked about so many things, but I think the thing that most people should get out of this evening is the relationship building. I think a lot of times people don't do relationships. What they do is they come in for the hard sale and the quick sale, and
Mm-hmm.
I talk about a lot of times that the difference the difference between making a good sale and a bad sale is if the person need what you're selling them. I think
Mm.
that is more important than the sale itself, because a lot of times what we do is we go in and we look for how can I make a buck. And I
That's
think a
right.
lot of business owners miss a lot of things because they're looking at how to make a buck.
That's right. That's right. Instead of saying, you know what, I don't think you need my product,
Yeah,
right?
and it's kind of like the question of why do you do it? What is
Mhm.
your why?
That's
I
right.
know I talked to you early on about the mall situation because I was concerned about COVID-19, and then I thought about it later. When you have a goal and a mission and a dream, you got to follow that goal and mission and a dream. It may not be somebody else's, but it's your goal, it's your dream. And a lot of times, people on the outside, they're not in the fire, so they can't
Mhm.
help you put the water out. So it's always great to hear great stories and great inspiration, because I think you were very inspirational this evening, because most of the things that you talked about was real world. A lot of times people don't do the I'm going to go and see somebody, or I'm going to go and talk to somebody, and they depend on other people to push their dream. But the people that they're pushing their dream is not in it like you're in it.
Mm-mm.
So if you're in it to win, then you're going to give that book to the guy. You not only are you going to give the book to the guy, you're going to look for other avenues and ways to get your information where you want to get it. And being on the Oprah show is not the win all be all. There are other shows and other people
Mm-hmm.
that you want to reach out to get what you want to get. I know with my book that's getting ready to come out, um, I'm sending my book to collectors, because all I do is sell my art to collectors. I'm not interested in museums. I'm not interested in galleries. And you made a poignant point about how people cut the pie up, and then you
Mm-hmm.
left with the crumbs. And
That's
now the
right.
crumbs could be $1 million, but at the end of the day, the people that are cutting it up, they have first dibs on your creativity,
And they
and
ain't
that
put
is
no work into it.
no work into it.
They ain't picked the first paintbrush up.
Or the first pencil, or the
That's
first
right.
pencil. One of the things that I tell people all the time is you pay for what you don't know.
That's right.
You don't pay for what you know, you pay for what you don't know.
That's
And
right.
one of the things that you have to think about, and I know when I was coming up and drawing and painting and telling people what I thought or not what I thought, what my value was in my work, people was like, no, you can't charge that kind of money. Why are you charging that kind of money? And I would say, I'm charging you what my value is. If I spend 3, 4, 5 days on a piece of artwork, I'm not going to give it to you for $500. If I
Mm-mm.
spend 4 or 5 days on the creative process of putting it together, and I come up with something that I feel is something that I love, first of all, then I'll just keep it in my house.
That's right.
Because at the end of the day, I believe that everybody has water to swim in, and you have to get to the water where you swim. It's just like where you are today. You still got to get the audience around you who can support you in terms of what you charge. And that's the challenge for a lot of people, because what they want to do is they want to say, I want to start from the bottom and go to the top.
That's right.
And I always say, let me ask you one question. How many companies and entrepreneurs of other races start from the bottom to go to the top? All other races start from the top,
And
and
keep going up.
then they well, if they don't are not going straight up, they filter down into a good relaxing space where
That's
they can
true.
make
Yeah.
some money.
That's
You
right.
know,
That's right.
you may want a Rolls Royce, okay, but your money may not get you a Rolls Royce,
That's right.
okay, but you may end up with a BMW, a Mercedes, or whatever. But start where you want to go, and I think
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the things people don't do. They just start where they think they want to go, as opposed to start where they want to go.
That's right. And I just want to say one last thing too. You made me think about something. And what we all have to remember is that when you have other people in it that's not invested into it, when it don't go right, they will leave.
Out the door in a hurry.
Okay,
Won't even know your name no more.
and walk right past you in Walmart like they ain't never met you in their life.
That is
If
what
it
they
don't
do.
work out, or if that money don't come in, they say, "Hey man, I ain't signed up for this. I'm gone." And
And
then
I,
you feel left by yourself. So I figure if I'm gonna be left by myself, why don't I just do it by myself? That's
well,
just the way I like to look at
well, I believe in teams. I believe
it.
that we must work on getting teams, but teams have to be invested in what you do, not in how much you make.
That's right. No,
Because
yeah,
if you're invested in a person, then you may end up going somewhere and speaking and say, "Have you heard about this guy?" Or "Do you know about this?" Or "Have you thought about this?" And what happens a lot of times is people are not invested. They have different agendas, and those agendas are not your agenda. It's kind of
that's right.
like, I tell people talk a lot about who's the GOAT, who's the greatest of all time playing basketball. And while I can submit that Kareem and Wilt Chamberlain, those guys, and Bill Russell, and those guys physically, we talking physical. We're not
Hmm.
talking about the game, but physically, were better ball players than a lot of ball players. And
Hmm.
then we can begin to talk about LeBron James being a great basketball player, and then we can bring up a guy by the name of Michael Jordan.
Hmm.
You can't look at a guy and say a part of him is what we're gonna measure him on. So we're just gonna measure him on the 6 rings. Okay. So if I win 8 rings and I'm a better than him, look at Robert Ory. And I'm just talking a little sports. I don't talk
Yeah.
much sports because I don't watch sports anymore. But when you look at the dollar amount that Michael was able to make, he's a billionaire, not a
Hmm.
millionaire, $1.4 billion. And then you take all the other ball players and you put them on the same plate and you measure all of them up to him. He's the GOAT. You can't get around it. Now,
Hmm.
now people will say, well, LeBron may win 4 or 5, 6 or 7 rings, but the question becomes, why is it always, when it comes to us as black people, that when somebody is excellent, we take somebody who is not excellent, not saying they're not great, who is not excellent, and say that that person is better than the guy who's excellent? You
Hmm.
can't be better than the guy that's never lost if you lost 6.
Hmm.
If you lose 6, whether you like it or not, you can't be better than the guy who won 6 and who's amassed. We talking about his total body of work over $1.4 billion.
Yeah.
Bill didn't do it. Kareem didn't do it. Chamberlain didn't do it. LeBron is not going to do it. At the end of the day, I think what happens is you got to look at who's invested in excellence. And
Yeah.
Michael is invested in excellence. Is still invested in excellence. So at the end of the day, when you look at business owners, a lot of times people just want to get in it to make the money.
That's
They
right.
want to make the dollars. They want to make the cents. But at the end of the day, they're not in it for a real why. You know,
Yeah.
the black business, this network that we're doing, and I say this to a lot of people, it's 24 hours where black people can come on and talk about what they want to talk about. There's nobody over your shoulder. When I called you up, I said, yeah, come, you got 40 minutes and talk about what you want to talk about.
Hmm.
Okay? Nobody was knocking on your door saying, Sean, look, man, I didn't like what you said about this. I didn't like what you said about that. Nobody's came on to say that to you.
That's right.
Nobody, I didn't come on to say it to you, and I'm the guy that's controlling everything. My point is, we have got to build ecosystems so that we as business owners can connect so we can earn some money. And I
That's right.
think that is the biggest issue in the black community. We can say, well, no, biggest issue is rap music and people killing each other in the streets and drugs and alcohol. That's the biggest issue. The biggest issue in our community is an ecosystem so that we can survive. The $1.8 trillion so we can control as a group of people that $1.8 trillion. If we're not focused on that $1.8 trillion, then ultimately we are going to lose.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Well,
That's right.
again, I want to thank you for being on the show. I didn't mean to go on the rant and the rave. You know, this is just
Hey,
what
it's
I do.
always an honor, brother. Always an honor.
It's just what I do. And again, I want to thank you for being on today. We look forward to all the great things that you're going to do. We're going to be doing this again the last week in February. So hopefully we'll have you back in February as we'll have another 100 speakers like we got a new pair of shoes. Right? We have fallen into the trap of not you man, Sandra, you're absolutely right, and I'm glad you popped in before we pop out. You know, but one of the things that I want to say to you, you did an outstanding job, and we look forward to all the great things that you're going to do. And people who want to buy Sean Ingram, Google him, go to the Crabtree Valley Mall, support the young brother, because as I always say, we support everybody else. We don't support ourselves. If the national, the statisticians are saying that in the Jewish community, the money stays for months. In the Mexican community, it stays for weeks. In the Asian community, it stays for years. But in the black community, it only stays for eight, 8 hours. So you
That's
got to
right.
ask yourself one question. And I submit to you, if it stays in our community for 8 hours, it only means that it doesn't really stay in our community. It sleeps in our community, because when we could get that check and go home and take that 8 hours sleep and get up the next morning on Saturday morning, we're in the street supporting somebody else with our money. And a lot of times you hear people say, well, I don't know where the black business is at. All you have to do is look.
That's right.
It's that simple. All
That's
you
right.
have to do is look. And again, I want to thank you. It's 11:05. I hope you have a great evening, and we look forward to the next time that you speak before us. And
Thank y'all. God bless. Y'all have a good night.
what is your email?
Email at SeanIngram.info.
Okay.
Or like you said, just Google Sean Ingram.
All right. Thank you so very much, Sean. And I look forward to talking to you again. Bye-bye until the next time.
See you later.
And of course, as we get ready to get out of here, it's been a great evening. Great evening with Sean Ingram. He was our guest this evening. And of course, we're going to be coming back every now and then with a great guest as we continue to get ready for the Black Business Olympics in February. And in February, it's going to be one of those great ones because we're going to have a lot of young people. And I hate to say young, we're going to have a fresh crew of business owners. And hopefully you will be one of those business owners. If you like to speak, what you can do is you can email me at blackbusinessolympics@gmail.com or erickelly45@gmail.com. And we will do what we can to have you to be on the network. It's a 24-hour network that exposes and it gives you exposure about you and your business. And again, as I continue to say, without love, there's no happiness. And without happiness, there's no peace of mind. Goodbye until the next time.
I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black Business. I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black Business. I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black Business. I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black Business. I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black Business.